Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another episode of CEO Chronicles. Today's an amazing day because you're here and we get another opportunity to be great. Not only that, but I have an amazing guest, a great show and a good workout on the way. She is a CEO, a very successful luxury realtor. She is an empowering woman. Not only that, but the first woman on the show, Nicole.
Really?
The
Thank
first
you.
one. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm the first woman on the show?
First one.
Wow.
It's an honor. I'm excited.
It is. I'm excited too.
We got a good leg day in store for y'all. So let's get rolling. Nicole, we're gonna start off with squats.
Okay.
While I do some squats, it's just gonna be 10. Everybody knows who Nicole is on the screen on Instagram and as a realtor. Who's Nicole behind that screen? Like, what's her story?
So my story, first I like to say that I am the most extroverted introvert you'll ever meet.
Okay.
Right? When I'm not on camera and when I'm not at work, I'm very, very quiet and introverted. Right? Okay. But and I think that comes from just like my background so I have a chemical engineering degree. Okay. Before I even got into real estate, I worked in the oil and gas industry. I worked in management consulting. My last 6 years in corporate America was at Shell, the oil company, right? Okay. And so it was, if you know, engineering, technology, consulting type work, it's in my opinion, it's a little mundane. Right? Yeah. And so I never had to be an extrovert or anything like that. So I'm naturally an introvert. And then my corporate profession made me an introvert, right? Okay. So it wasn't until I jumped out into the real estate world, I'm like, okay, I'm in sales now. Yeah. I have to be an extrovert. I can't be a secret person anymore, because when I would go to corporate, I would just be behind the camera all day, right? Yeah. Not behind the camera, behind the computer all day, right? But when I jumped into sales, it's I got to be totally different and challenge myself to be somebody that I'm really not, right? But yeah, in a nutshell, 10 years in corporate America, chemical engineering degree. In 2020, I transitioned out of corporate America into full-time real estate sales, and we also opened up Braden Real Estate Group, our real estate broker. So,
how long you been in real estate? Only 3-4 years?
So I went full-time into real estate in 2019. Okay. While I was still working at my corporate job. I really became a sucky corporate employee. Okay. Right? And so it really took off for me in 2019, and I made the decision to transition out in 2020. Right? Okay. So I even opened a real estate brokerage before I fully transitioned out of corporate America, right? We opened our real estate brokerage, so it's me and my first cousin. We opened up our real estate brokerage in 2019, at the end of 2019. At the beginning of 2020, fully transitioned out of corporate America and went full-time real estate. So yeah, this is I guess you could say this is going into my 5th year. That's
full-time. Amazing. Well, that's full-time. Now, how long did you do it?
True. So 5th year full-time, but I've had a real estate license since 2012. So it was just kind of
so I did my math. I was she's been in, I couldn't find the exact date, but I was it's been about a decade. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of like a hobby up until then. I sold a few homes here and there. I learned a lot, right? But I didn't really make a lot of money in real estate or anything like that until I transitioned out to full-time.
PV, right?
Yeah, I went to Prairie View A&M University.
Okay. I'm gonna let you get your first in. It's
okay, so show me how to do this. I'm gonna be honest now.
No worries. So I need you to get up under the bar.
Okay.
We're gonna lift the bar, we're gonna turn it. Get up, lift it, go up. Let me know if it's too heavy. Bring your knees forward, bring your legs forward. A little bit more. More, right there. That way we don't put too much pressure on your knees. We're gonna go down. A little bit lower. Let me know if it's too heavy, we'll bring it up right there, up. Is that good?
Not too bad.
All right, we're gonna do 10 of those.
Okay.
And I'm counting for you, too.
Trust me, I'm counting.
Okay, cool. All right, so 12 years in real estate. Before that, you were an engineer. So there's a lot of...
I have an engineering degree, but most of it was management consulting and technology type of stuff.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of business talk today. Now, I'm gonna let you finish your set because I got another question for you.
I think I can do both.
Think you can do both? Okay. Why real estate?
I got into the real estate, what number are we on?
Last one.
Okay. I got into the real estate industry because I wanted to be a real estate investor.
Okay.
Right. I really got into it to buy and sell properties for myself.
Okay.
I never was like, I'm gonna be a top producing realtor or own a real estate brokerage or anything like that. I just wanted to use the license as leverage for myself.
Okay.
Like if I bought a property, I can like negotiate my commissions and things like that. So it did give me leverage. And I did that for a little while, but what I found is that I made more money in real estate sales than in real estate investing.
Okay.
You know?
It makes sense.
Yeah, but so it's just, I guess because I had already had that real estate background, it kind of made sense to transition into that full time, you know?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I think sometimes life shows us, like in my business, the way we've worked is, and I'm a believer in God or whatever the universe
Amen, I am
is.
too.
So I feel like he gives me a taste of what's next.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to handle it, he floods me with it.
Yeah.
If I can't handle this, all right, I'll be back.
Right.
Get ready, I'll come back and do it.
Yeah.
So I guess he gave you a little bit of that. What happened in 2019 for you to be like, I'm all in?
You know what? I think it was divine. Like my husband broke his leg. And when he broke his leg, he had to go out on FMLA.
Okay.
And because I'm his wife, I got to be his caregiver.
Okay.
So I was able to take 6 months off from my corporate career and still get paid, and while I revved up my real estate business.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So that really helped me a lot though. But yeah, I hate that my husband broke his leg, you know, but I don't think I ever would have been able to transition and excel in real estate had I not had like that 6 month period. But I mean, like every freaking dime that I made from my corporate career that I did not spend on my bills or to live, I put it into my real estate business, you know, so.
Which shows, your success shows for it.
Right, absolutely. And so like, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not just one of those like, just go out there, you know, and like just go, I believe in having a plan, you know what I'm saying? And then like, I would tell people, if you have another career and you want to start a business, that's great. Leverage that income and leverage that security from your other business your career, you know, to start your business, you know? But I mean, that's how it all happened.
Exactly. Now this was right before COVID. COVID comes around. How did that affect? Was it a good route up or was it bumpy for you?
So when COVID happened, I had
Let me rotate with you and let me get a sense. When
COVID happened, I had literally just quit my job, right?
Okay.
And so like I quit my job and like literally it may have been like 2 weeks later, I'm like, I don't have a job. I just quit my job and the world is just shut down.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm not gonna have a real estate job. So I really was freaking out for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Then the government dropped the rates the lowest they've ever been.
Okay.
You know, and so that's what really fueled the real estate business, right?
Okay.
Because in that between time, I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do, but I'm going to put my face everywhere humanly possible. Right, and tell everybody that I do real estate. Like people were like, we're looking for a realtor to be on our podcast. I'm like, I'm your girl. You know, I can give your clients value. You know, I'll tell them about all these programs and everything. Like, just put me on. And like anybody who had like a real estate podcast or something, I'm like, hey, can I get on? And I use social media a heck of a lot, you know, and I just like started dropping education, you know, and telling people about the home buying process and, you know, like showing myself out in the thick of it, you know, like not just showing the good, showing like, man, look, this is what's happening. This is what you guys should look out for. And it just kind of just went crazy for me. You know, COVID did help. The interest rates did help. But I feel like just me like putting my face everywhere, I do feel like I got on the social media video curve before it was a thing. Yeah. Right before it was what it is today, right? Yeah. But again, that for me was literally totally out of my comfort zone. Right, like totally. I have this saying, like everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Okay. And so, I was very fearful to put myself out there, but I'm like, hey, this is the new way I'm gonna have to feed my family. Yeah. You know, straight up. Like I just quit my job and the world just shut down. I got to figure it out, and so that's what I did. All right, your turn. All right, my turn.
While you get your 10 in, a couple things. I am gonna put her Instagram in the description. The whole workout is going to be in the description, but there's a lot of things from here. 2019, things got crazy for her. 2020 taught me how to take all the positive out of any negative situation. It was the best and worst year for me.
Really?
My wife broke her toe in 17 places.
Oh, wow.
She was in bed rest for 3 months. The doctor basically told her, if you move and you bent your toe or anything, I got to amputate it.
Oh my goodness.
This was at the beginning. Her father had just passed away. It was a rough year for us as a family. Obviously, COVID, my business was affected. Phones stopped ringing, all the commercial stuff kind of kept going, but all the residential stuff, nobody wanted you in their house. So that was a year for me. One, I got closer to God. Two, I just started embracing all the negative. I was like, something good is gonna come from this. A lesson, a win, a relationship, something good is gonna come from this. So from there, probably became one of the most positive people you've ever met. Just because I'm like, nothing can break me down. If I woke up today, I could take on anything else.
I mean, I do think a lot of what happens to you in your life is your mindset.
Yeah.
You have control over that.
Yeah.
Like your mindset, and like that's one thing that my cousin and I, we're business partners, right? And we have almost 100 agents at the brokerage, right?
Yeah.
So running the brokerage, being a mom, being a family, being a wife, and you got people calling one something every day. You're stretched thin.
I'll give you this because
we always okay, cool.
No, come over here, talk to me.
Okay, we always say let's start off with affirmations before we say anything.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So like this started off like, hey, calling, picking up. We talk every morning. We're business partners. We're business partners, we're best friends, all of that stuff. But it's like, hey, tell me your affirmations. Tell me some good things. Tell me some positive things before we start talking about business, all of the other stuff.
Okay. Now, before we start this set, do you personally have a daily affirmation or a affirmation that you always go to? Or is it just whatever?
It's not, I don't have a daily affirmation. It's just kind of whatever is going on that day, like trying to turn into from a negative or a stressful time or, a trying time to let me find the good in this.
Okay.
So my thing is find the good in it. Even if it's stressful, bad, like what is the good? I'm gonna learn a lesson. My family's gonna be impacted different. Like I'm impacting somebody else, even though I may be tired, right? Or I may be worn down. Somebody else is getting something from this. Like I'm always saying, how do you find the good in this? Because it's so easy to complain.
Yeah.
It's so easy to find all the negative things, right? And that just, in my opinion, it just drains you.
We're gonna be right here. No, I do. I believe in affirmations. I believe in speaking positivity into the universe. I believe in all of that. I believe in manifesting like no other. Sometimes I'm around people and I speak about, I tell people I live in 2025, I'm not in today. Like I live in the future. Sometimes I speak and people are like, what are you talking about, bro? Like you're too far ahead, but I believe in all that. Like my kids, we have a daily affirmation that we say every day before we get to school. So that's awesome. Now, your cousin and you, best friends, business partners. Is this your first business venture together?
So we were both realtors.
I'm gonna grab some weights and I'm listening.
We were both realtors before we opened the brokerage together, right? So, but this is our first true business venture.
Okay.
And like a lot of people ask me like, how is it working with family? I couldn't work with my family.
These are little ones right there. Get you those. Yeah, whatever you feel.
A lot of people are like, I couldn't work with my family. And like, to me, I love working with my family.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard because, if there's a disagreement or if somebody drops the ball, you still got to go home with these people afterward,
It's good. It's tough, but if you do it from the beginning, separating the relationships, I think business partners, and we should be able to have, I don't want to say it heated, but we should be able to have a misunderstanding in business and not affect our personal relationships. All right.
What we had to do is define our roles and responsibilities.
Okay.
So it's certain things that she does or she only does, and it's certain things that I do that I only do, right? We lean on our strengths, right? Certain things I'm good at. She doesn't like to be in front of the camera, and the marketing's not her thing, Yeah. So, I think that helps too, is that having a partner that complements you, where the areas where you're weak at, they're strong, and vice versa.
It's the same scenario for us, like me and Mario. The only thing is we don't talk every day. It is crazy. We run a business together. Our office, we actually share an office because we're like, let's just put it together so we can be right next to each other. And we probably see each other here more than when we see at work.
Wow.
We show up here at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and hey, we started having cardio meetings in the morning.
That's cool.
That was the only way we could meet up. All right, so now we're gonna take a quick little break on business. We're gonna do some single leg lunges.
Okay.
Right leg to the front. You'll go here, and it's just gonna be here. We're gonna do 10 of them. 1, there we go. All right, this is good. I've been excited for today's episode for a while.
Really?
Yeah. One, because not obviously, but you're the first woman on the show. I want this podcast, it is the CEO Chronicles, but I want it to be bigger than business. I feel like we're all chief executives of our own operation, So I want everybody to start acting like boss. Take something from this.
I was excited to come, right? And I love this idea and this concept. You know, we talked about it before we got on camera, but I do feel like people that are physically strong are mentally strong, because it takes a lot of discipline to be as physically strong as you guys are, right? And so when you're mentally strong, like you said, that helps you in life, in business, in your religion, you know, just being consistent and being disciplined with everything else, you know?
Big learning experience. Fitness and business go hand in hand. I'm gonna tell y'all something, stays behind here. Our closing ratio actually goes up when we're on prep. So if you look good, people wanna do business with you because they understand, oh, this guy's responsible. This guy's committed, he can stick to this.
Absolutely.
So if you're not in shape, not just for your business, but get yourself in shape.
And all the CEOs that I admire,
the
first thing they do when they get up in the morning is work out.
Oh, all right,
okay,
10 more, let's go. The other leg.
Okay, I can't go as low as you.
It's all right. People gonna be mad at me because I'm creasing my shoes on camera, but it'll be all right. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's take a little break. Oh man. So, how did the business idea come about? Y'all sitting there one day, I know you were a realtor and you were probably like, man, I'm tired of working for these people. I don't like the way they're doing it. Let me build my own thing.
You know what? Honestly, I was voluntold. You know, and that's one of the things with family. Like my cousin, she's like, hey, you know, I'm going to get my broker's license. But before then, we had been with, everything we did together. You know, and we had been with 5 different brokerages, right? So we had experience with 5 different brokerages, good, bad, and ugly, right? And so we kind of got to the point where I was still voluntold, right? But when you really sit down and look at it, the reason why I was voluntold is because we had been looking for a new brokerage and we really couldn't find anything that aligned with who we are as people, our core values, what we wanted our brand to represent, you know, all of those things. So we're like, we're just gonna create it, you know? And so, like I said, I was voluntold, but I feel like it was one of the best things I've ever been voluntold about, right? Because now you have control over your brand, right? You have control over your brand image. You have, the sky's the limit, right? You can take it exactly where you want it to go. Of course, you know, we're regulated by the Real Estate Commission. There's certain legal rules and laws that we have to follow. But in terms of just like who we are as people, it's okay, we can be who we are as people and we can center our company around it. Like, for example, we're religious people. You know, some companies don't talk about God and, you know, faith and things like that, or pray, you know, before and after an event or something like that. We do, you know, and we're okay with that. And you know, and the beautiful thing about it is that we realize we're not for everybody, and that's okay. And they have the right to say, hey, I'm gonna align with them or I'm not, you know. But at the beginning of every meeting, the first thing we discuss is our company core values, right? They're so important to who we are.
What are your core values?
We got a lot of them. We got a lot of them.
Give me a couple of them.
I'll give you a couple of them, right? So one is being client obsessed. Always putting the client's needs over your own, right? Lead with excellence in everything you do. Act with the highest intention. Act with the highest level of integrity. Act with intention and purpose. Don't just be doing things to be doing them, right? Even a polished and professional image. You know, people like, why is that your core value? Because it's important that we present ourselves in the best possible way. You know, so that's just some of them. We have 11. I just gave you 5. You know, they are the center of who we are. And then we've actually even revisited it. Like, do we need to add more? Like,
when you get to that, we had a whole, the whole look, listen, live comes from our mission statement, right? And we have our own core values. And I think any good company's core values are going to be similar. Because at the end of the day, good business is good business. I don't care if you're selling real estate. I don't care if you're doing automation. I don't care if you're flipping burgers, right? Good business is good business. You've been doing real estate for a long time. Do you remember some of your first transactions? Like, do you have any memories of your first transaction? Like, do you remember that one?
I do.
Good, bad? How was it?
It was, so my first transaction was okay. Because it was new construction. And any realtor knows, like, new construction is like one of the easiest transactions. You basically take your client to the builder and the builder does all the work. My second transaction was actually me buying me and my husband's first home, and it was a nightmare, right? But It was because I was very new, right? And it's a lot of things that I did not know. But I can say this, and this is something that I've learned from the other agent. She was a very seasoned and experienced agent. And even though we weren't with the same brokerage, her goal was to get the transaction closed. She helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Which is key in this industry. It seems like, at least in your industry, it seems like certain realtors are really committed to helping others.
Right.
And there's certain realtors that's like, this is a dog-eat-dog world. You figure it out.
But see, in our world, like, nobody wins if a transaction doesn't close, right?
Exactly.
The seller doesn't get paid. The buyer doesn't buy a house. The realtors don't get commission. You know, all the inspection money, you know, buyers have wasted money on inspections.
Yeah.
Title companies involved, they basically work for free. And so that's how I look at it, right? I'm always gonna do what's best for my client, but at the end of the day, how can we work together for the good of everybody involved in this transaction? And it's not always being dog eat dog.
Yeah.
I've told several agents before, like, hey, you missed that. Or hey, let me show you how to do this the right way. You know? Or hey, this is the best practice. And it's not because I'm better than them or, you know, but it's honestly like, hey, at the end of the day, let's work for the good of it all, you know?
Exactly. Realtors, take note here. That is not your client. That is not their client. That is y'all's client, because if y'all don't sell that house, nobody eats.
Yeah, nobody eats.
Exactly. All right, one more set.
Okay.
Now, we talked about the first transaction, and I know you're a luxury realtor, so you probably walk.
Well, I do it high-end luxury, but you know, I mean,
whatever.
we do it all, yeah.
Now, there's levels to every industry. Like my industry, it took me a long time to be able to walk in this $10 million homes like I do now, right?
Yeah.
Your scenario,
same
your
thing,
first, you know.
right? I didn't start off selling luxury homes.
Now,
you know?
do you have one where it was like, oh man, I can't believe I sold this house? Do you have one of those?
You do have some of those, right?
Okay.
And the crazy thing about it is that now it's not not the house that you sold, it's who you sold it to, right? Like the millionaire, when we were growing up, that millionaire looks totally different today, right? You know, in some instances, right? It's still the same thing, like, but the millionaire when we were growing up were business owners, CEOs, inventors, you know. Now it's social media influencers.
It's crazy. and it's beautiful because this camera right here and y'all has allowed people like you, like me, to be able to take their business, take their career, and take them to the next level. So we do appreciate you watching.
Exactly.
We appreciate you watching.
I always ask myself, if all of this went away, would we still be in business?
Exactly.
Right? And so that's why I did a video the other day talking about the importance of relationships. You know what I'm saying? And because like I said, if Instagram, we don't own anything that's on any of these social media platforms, right? And if these social media platforms go out of business tomorrow, so does all of our marketing, right? No, seriously, you know? So like lately, a lot of my business has been coming from referrals, past clients, you know, keeping that relationship good. So I harp on that too. Like I'm in sales, you're in sales, right? The relationship supersedes any of this.
That's what happened to us in 2020. Our phone, when we got into the industry, if you Googled what we do, you were gonna find us no matter. We're the top rated company in the city. So any retro work, Google, we were the guys. When COVID came around, nobody wanted to in the house. What kept us going was all our referrals, our builders, our residual. So that's when I thought, okay, social media has never been a huge thing for us, but let me find residual. So that's when I started creating builder relationships, architectural relationships, so we can get into the house before there's even a homeowner.
Before there's a person like I mean, COVID really did teach you how to pivot.
Oh yeah.
You know, it taught you how to pivot.
You either pivot or it broke you. One of the two. And I said this workout wasn't gonna be hard, but I'm up here sweating harder than you.
I'm not sweating yet, but
I'm trying not to make you sweat.
I'm not working out as hard as you.
No, I shouldn't be sweating this hard. It wasn't supposed to be that hard.
But I will say this, I am enjoying this.
I love it.
You know, I feel like my adrenaline is rushing a little bit, you know.
2 more. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I wanted to create an atmosphere where it's casual. It isn't all professional. We're humans. Like, we sweat, we cry, we make noises when we work out. Let's put these up. All right, once again, I'm gonna give y'all the whole workout at the end of the video. It's gonna be on the description. We can't do the whole workout because as y'all can see, we're sweating up a storm and we're talking, and I'm pretty sure you'd rather her give you value than to watch me sweat. All right, let's go over here. Let's sit down for a second. Did I get your, okay. All right, so we talk real estate, right? We'll go over here. we talk real estate, but you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an empowering woman, you are a community leader, you do all this stuff. How do you do it? What's your schedule? How do you do it?
I will say I am very diligent of
Let me set it up.
scheduling, right?
Okay.
Everything goes on my calendar. And honestly, if it's not on my calendar,
It gets forgotten.
I will miss it or I will forget it, right?
I'm with you.
Even my kids' birthday parties, family things, anything and everything goes on my calendar. I am a creature of making sure stuff goes on my calendar, right? It has to go on my calendar. So being diligent with my time.
Yeah.
Also I call it finding time when the rest of the world is sleeping.
Yeah.
Right, because nobody's bothering you. So like, I'm a part of an accountability group where we all wake up at 4:30 in the morning and you have to text like,
every
hey,
day?
Good morning. And we've been doing this for like 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we call ourselves the 4 a.m. club. And everybody has to get up and text let's just be frank, some people miss it. Right? Everybody's not there every morning, but to know that they're counting on me to get up, or they're holding me accountable to make sure that I said I'm gonna get up at 4:30 and get to it. That keeps me waking up at 4. My alarm clock is set for 4:30 every morning, and the first thing I do is pick up the phone. Hey guys, good morning.
What time do you go to sleep?
I try to go to bed at least by 10 at the latest.
Okay.
So in between 9 and 10.
Okay. You got a set of 10.
All right, cool.
All right, we got 4 sets of 10 on everything. Very easy, we're gonna put it at the end, but one of the things you touched on was accountability. I myself, I've been trying really, really hard to join the 5:30 a.m. club. I haven't made it to 4:30 yet, but on my vision board, I have a sticker that says 5 a.m. club, right? I don't always do it because I'm not a 10 p.m. Like I'm in bed 11:30, midnight, 1 o'clock some days. That's why I love being on prep. When I get on prep, I can't fail. Like it's like somehow there's something up here that this big accountability takes over. I pay for a personal trainer. I pay for this gym. I pay for all this food.
A lot of times we're paying for just accountability. A lot of these things we can do them on our own, right? But we pay for the accountability. We're humans. We need the accountability. When somebody, I always say, you don't want to be the only one failing. Right? If everybody else is doing the part, you don't want to be the only one in the group not doing anything. Right? So I think everybody should have some type of accountability part, even if they pay for them, right? Some type of accountability.
I read a book called Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if you've ever, Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich.
I've heard so much about it, I have not gotten to it yet.
It is one of the original self-development books. This was written in the 1930s. And he basically gives you the keys to success. Dale Carnegie sat down with millionaires and all the successful people that in the essence, built this country, the Fords, all these very successful people. And he goes down and he talks about goal setting, which is key to any success. But he talked about accountability. He was like, find a way to tell someone. Like, go tell someone, hey, I'm gonna do this by this day. Most humans don't wanna fail. Most humans don't wanna look back. So get yourself a personal trainer. Get yourself a business coach. Get yourself a friend that is going to push you and motivate you. Accountability is key.
And it's really like it's just investing in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like really taking the time to invest in yourself. It's simple. That's all accountability is I'm going to.
So let's talk about that, investing in yourself, right? What does Nicole Handy personally do to invest in herself?
Well, honestly, one is waking up at 4:30 in the morning because that gives me time to have clarity or do whatever it is I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it can be anything. Like most of the time, my emails are cleared, right? And really, doing that really takes my anxiety down because I'm not worried about what did I not do. You know what I'm saying? Before the rest of the world wakes up. But it's been time I cooked a meal. Wash clothes, clean my home. Just whatever it is. And I always call it your. What do I call it? Your little luxuries of life. And they don't have to be, when we hear the word luxury, we think it has to be expensive, it has to cost a lot of money, but it has to be flamboyant, but really it can just be whatever makes you happy, no matter how big or small it is. Like we have a guy at our brokerage 7 days a week. He gets up and he goes and sits at a restaurant for breakfast. And I was like, why do you do this every day? He's like, because I like to do it and it makes me happy, right? And so I'm like, that's his little luxury of life. you know?
Yeah. I love it.
So just finding those for me, it's investing in myself is finding those little luxuries of life, those moments that make me happy.
Okay.
You know, and again, it can be like, I want to spend time with my daughter today, and we're gonna go eat ice cream. You know, whatever those little luxuries of life are. Because if you are thankful for the small things, when you get the big things, you're even more grateful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, let me get it set in because I don't want to talk about accountability and not work out in front of y'all. She's gonna get her set. No, you already started. You might as well go for your second set. Come on. No, accountability is key. I believe it. Now, do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? Do you have?
Yes.
Okay.
So how the coach thing came along, right?
Yeah.
When we started the brokerage, we were good realtors. Right?
Okay.
We were not good business owners.
Okay.
Right. So we realized that if we didn't learn how to run a business, we were going to fail, and we were going to fail fast. Right.
Yeah.
The account was going down.
Exactly.
It wasn't going back up.
Exactly.
So we brought in a real estate coach and mentor.
Okay.
And we have met with her every 2 weeks for the past 4 years, and we probably won't give it up, right? Because again, there's so much that we've learned in a short period of time that would have put us out of business had we not worked with her, right?
Yep.
I am an advocate of mentorship, coaching from day one, and you can never know it all.
Now, I know you're a big system-oriented person.
Yeah.
I read a book called The E-Myth Revisited.
The what?
The E-Myth Revisited, right? The entrepreneurial myth revisited. And in that book, it discussed basically, everybody knows a skill. Anybody can be an electrician. Anybody can mount TVs.
Right.
But when you take it into a business, there's a whole world of things that you don't know about.
Yeah.
In my scenario, I got into industry that I never worked in the industry. 9 years ago, we knew how to mount TVs, right? So everything was self-taught, trial and error. I'm in an industry where we're one of the biggest minority-owned companies in my industry. Not only that, but we were the youngest at some point. Now we're a little older, but when we got into this, we were 25 years old. Me and Mario out here trying to build something from nothing. We were young, minority. This is a majority of the people in the industry just happen to be white and been in the industry. They're older. They've been for us to get into it. It took us a while to be able to. Even to this day, I only have certain relationships. I don't have any I have few relationships with the big guys that I can say they can mentor me.
Yeah.
But it all for us has been trial and error. So I'm a believer in systems. Which we haven't talked about that, but I know you're a big system-based business, right? Can you talk a little bit about systems and SOPs and?
So it came from my career, my corporate career, right? And I always say that like I'm very thankful for my corporate career because it taught me a lot about implementing systems and processes and testing things and updating and and always being agile and all of that stuff, right? But yeah, so like I look to my goal is to how can I do things or make things happen without me physically having to do it, right?
Okay.
So automation is at the top of my list.
I like
right?
it.
And I'll give you an example just like when we have a consultation on the team, right?
Okay.
So it starts with, hey, go schedule your consultation. Then we have it set up to where the client's information is automatically transposed into our CRM system, our client relationship management system.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's going to fire off automation and messages directly to the client, right? Giving them, hey, thank you, giving them a video with us talking through the process, giving them some helpful information. And I mean, that's just a small automation, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at like what that does for the level of service, right? People want instant gratification.
Yeah.
Right. So no matter if they book at 10 a.m. or 2 a.m., they're going to get the same response time. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Yeah. And so like just building out like all of those systems and processes and things like that. But SOPs, so standard operating procedures, right? The way you do business. I was not successful with the team until we started implementing those, right? Okay. And I know better because I should have been doing it in my corporate career. It's just one of those things like it's mundane, and stuff like that. But for us, it's always, no matter if you're working with Nicole, me personally, or somebody on my team, you're gonna get the same level of service, right? And so how can we implement that? And it's through SOPs. We have every single thing you're supposed to do. Like
if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this.
And the thing is, people assume that people know how you want things done.
Yeah.
Not the case. When I say every step in our SOPs, like our listing SOP may be like 8 pages long. right? You know, you're gonna take these documents, arrive at this time, ask these questions when you step out of the car, make sure you look like this, you know. I mean, literally, but it has been so instrumental in making sure that our reviews stay good. Like the clients, I know the clients is gonna get the same level of service, but it's also allowed me to hold my team accountable, right? If something is missed, hey, it's not how I feel, it's you didn't follow the procedure, you know?
No, I love it. Now, we talked SOP systems. Let's take it to the future a little bit. Are you using any type of AI?
I will.
You will? You haven't implemented any of it yet?
I will. We haven't implemented any yet. Of course, like I think it's moving a little faster than we
can
move.
Right? Yeah.
But I absolutely will. You know, that's the way of the future. We always got to stay on top of the latest and greatest technology. So I will, right? And so we like have some third parties that we outsource that we use their technology and it has AI incorporated, but like nothing like just with our own internal systems. But I wanted to go to one of these universities. Who was it in like study AI, right?
Okay.
But then I'm like, okay, I'm getting off. I'm a brokerage owner. I'm not an AI person, right? So I need to hire somebody to do that, right? But yeah, we definitely want to implement that as part of our business.
All right, so we've talked a lot about business. Let's back it up a second because I know there's going to be a lot of actual realtors that are going to be watching this. It's an industry where there's new realtors coming into it every day.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about systems. Somebody wakes up today and says, man, I want to be a realtor. What should their Monday through Friday look like when they don't have any clients? When they don't, like, what should they be doing if they woke up and said, I want to be a realtor?
Well, first, they really need to hone in on their sphere of influence, right?
Yeah.
The people that they already know.
Okay.
Right? And a guy that I truly admire broke this down to me like no other, right? But the people that you already know, they already know you, they already like you, and they already trust you. And people are like, well, I don't know anybody. Pick your phone up. You have at least 500 people in your phone, right? Go down the list. You should be telling everybody, you know, that one, you're a real estate professional. Number two, you should be honing in on your craft, right? You should be trying to learn as much as you can. I would say definitely get a mentor or coach or somebody that you can shadow, you know, on a daily basis. But prospecting, telling people what you do, looking for business, that should be, when you don't have any business, that should be 4 to 6 hours a day. You know, even small things like, if I'm a realtor, I'm in the gym, I'm gonna have a shirt that says real estate agent. Ask me a question. Ask me about real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I hope y'all wrote that down. I want to see somebody with that shirt.
Put a real estate hat on. Everybody has a real estate need, believe it or not. Whether it's commercial, residential, somebody needs somewhere to live, somebody needs an office, somebody needs a place to have their business. You know, everybody you should be talking to them about how you could help them in real estate. And not just saying, hey, pick me. Give them valuable reasons why they should pick you. Help them. You know what I'm saying? Give them some things of value. But if you're not out there prospecting, putting your foot to the pavement, picking up the phone, you need to be learning, right? You know, and so a lot of people, if you really want to work with like a high producer, you know, they're busy people, right? And I mean, I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said already, but they're busy people. So, you know, a lot of times they're like, I don't have time to train anybody. I don't have time. But if you could take something off their plate, if you can add value to them, trust me, they'll be more than happy to help. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. On that book, it talked about the power of masterminds and having mentors and stuff. And I can relate all success to that one book, even though I read a million books, but Think and Grow Rich. And one of the things he said in that was all successful people are willing to share their knowledge and experiences as long as you're willing to apply them. Because this is years of experiences. This is years of failure. Why would I throw up all this information on you and you're just going to leave here and not do anything with it, right? 100%. So finding a mentor is key, but showing that you do want to do it. It might not be the first time you ask. Like, sometimes you got to ask people 12 times, and at that 12th one is like, all right, I see you really want to learn. Let me give you some game. Ethic,
you know, like, if I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, I'm not saying they got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. But, you know, there needs to be some ethic. Like, I meet with my assistant twice a week at 6 a.m.
Okay.
And again, that's because we can get our work in, we can have our meetings before the world starts bothering us. Come 8 o'clock, the phone rings off the hook, you know? Like, I'd be surprised how many phone calls I've gotten since I've been in here, right? But, you know, so having you know, seeing the value in their work ethic and mirroring that is also important as well. Nobody wants somebody that gets up at 10 and you get up at 4. I've been up 6 hours before you, you know? Like,
I done did two whole shifts by the time you took your nap. We're going to go right here.
That's no value to me.
No, I know. Now, where's real estate going? Where is this whole, I'm going to break it down a little bit. We're doing leg press. Let me back up a second. Conversation's so good, I forgot we were working out. We're doing leg press next. Let me scoot you down a little bit. Put your knees right there. Put your legs up here. I'm gonna scoot you down just a little bit. Boom, right there. All right, we're gonna do a set of 10.
So the easy question is real estate is going nowhere.
Okay.
Everybody will always have a real estate need.
Okay.
You know, that's the one thing. Everybody will always have a real estate need, right?
Yeah.
Last year, they did what I call a correction. COVID had interest rates extremely low, but it had prices extremely high, right? So now they flip-flop that, right? You have interest rates that are much higher, but prices are lower, right? So I think that interest rates being higher kind of shook up the world and kind of scared the world, right? I feel like there's even more of a correction coming now where we're going back to what I consider a normal market, like the way it used to be before COVID.
Yeah.
Where people are starting to realize that, okay, we'll never get a 2% interest rate again. That's just the law of the land, right? But people will always have a real estate need, right? And I like to say it's death, divorce, diapers, debt, you know, the 4 Ds. Like if you kind of focus on those, like people, regardless of what the interest rates are, if people have one of those 4 things,
things are going to get moved,
right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who they call, right? You know, it's just a matter of who they call.
Because everybody knows a realtor, and that's the biggest thing. Everybody knows a realtor. Why this one or why that one, right?
Yeah.
So that is so, and I do believe it. This dirt isn't going anywhere. They can't build any more of this, so it's going to continue to sell. It's going to continue to go up. Get you a set of 10 because I got a question for you. Now, we talk real estate. We talk about selling it, right? And you always have this guru saying, "Oh, get you into real estate. You don't need any money. Use somebody else's money." Blah blah blah.
That's not true.
That's what I want. I need a realtor to tell me.
I don't believe in that. No, that's not true. You need money to purchase real estate. Right?
Okay.
Can you get creative with the financing or how you make that happen? Sometimes, yes, right? But I always tell people, don't be in the world or don't think that you can purchase real estate with no money, right? Taxes never go away. Right?
Exactly. I was always like, man, I need to figure this out. These people making millions of dollars with no money. How do you do it?
Yeah, depending on if you get with the right person, you can have low entry options.
Yeah.
You know, like even for me, I talk about like 100% financing programs, right? So you have no down payment and no closing costs, right? But you still have taxes.
Yep.
You still have all of the fees to purchase. You still have inspection costs. You know what I'm saying? So you can never buy real estate with no money.
Yep.
A lot of those investors, like I feel like that's how they reel you in. Those sharks just trying to, get you to sign up for their coaching program or whatever the case may be. But no, you absolutely need money to purchase real estate.
There you go. Y'all heard it. Can't do it for free. You need some money to do it. And that's it. I didn't want to stop you, but conversation's so good you did a set of 20. Yeah. Unless you inherit, and even then you still got to pay some money for it.
You got to pay taxes.
Still got to pay taxes. All right, let me get a set in. Oh man, how many agents do you have under you?
So right now we have roughly, last time I checked, like 92.
Close to 100.
Close to 100.
And you're in Houston and Dallas.
Houston and a very small office in Dallas.
Okay. What's the vision? Big. I know you're a big dreamer, so go ahead and put it into the universe.
So the vision would be nationally, then international, right?
Okay.
But having a business that runs on its own without me even having to be involved.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having my business on autopilot, franchising, you know, I mean, essentially that's what, you have to be involved in somewhere, but not in the nuts and bolts of the details like I am today, right?
Yeah.
You know, I sell luxury real estate, but I want to be known as a national luxury brand as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big projects we're working on now is launching our official luxury division.
Okay, is there going to be a different name behind it?
No, everything. So Braden Real Estate Group is our family name, right?
Okay.
So my grandmother, who's still alive today, is named Oscarine Braden. The reason why we named it Braden Real Estate Group, one, because she gave us the money to go to real estate school. Yeah.
Gotta pay on it.
We're very proud. We're a very proud family, So no, we will never change a name outside of Braden, right? That's who we are, and it runs deeper than just the surface, right? But also to that point, that's why we're so protective of it, because it's our family name. Like, if it gets out there bad, it's not just getting out there as that brokerage is bad, it's that family is bad.
Yeah. Okay. Now, national, international, is there a plan of action to make that happen? that's already kind of, or is it just, I know this is what I want to get to,
Right.
I haven't laid out the plan yet?
Right, I haven't laid out the plan yet. I know that's what I want to get to. The plan of action is to get the Houston, Dallas office on autopilot to where people can just mimic that, right?
Yep.
So we can just say, hey, here's all of our SOPs, here's how we run this operation, and to be able to give somebody that they can go implement and start a new office.
Yeah, because exactly, there's a big difference between being self-employed and being a business owner.
Right.
You can have a business and you're still self-employed because
Right.
without you, the business doesn't run.
Right.
We've been in business for 9 years, and I can honestly say that maybe the last 2 years is when the business kind of started running 100% without us. I'm not at a place where I can take months off and never show up, but if I need to have
Absolutely,
an amazing guest on my YouTube channel, I need to take a couple hours up to come interview her, then I can be here to do that, right?
Yeah, but I do want to get to the point where, like you said, I can leave for 2 months,
Yeah.
the business still runs flawlessly, effortlessly, and they didn't even miss you.
Do you travel a lot?
I
know you do.
I need to do better.
You need to do better.
That's one thing I need to do better on.
Okay.
I work so much.
It's hard for you to get out?
Sometimes it's hard for me to get out.
What are you into? Outside of real estate, outside of what is Nicole actually, what are you into? What are maybe hobbies that you no longer do, things that you wish you could do nowadays?
You know what? Nobody believes me when I say this until I show them pictures. I used to be like a really good decorative cake baker. I mean, like birthday, like you see like those 3-tier cakes and stuff like that. Yeah, nobody believes me. I showed them pictures and they're like, but I enjoyed that. It was time consuming, but I enjoyed it because it was just like me in my space, in my creative element. Yeah. You know, so like I like to do that. Okay. Believe it or not. But I believe it. Nobody would believe that you used to bake cakes. You know, like I would sell them and everything, you know. So I mean, but I do want to travel more. I love exploring. I love seeing the world, right? And I don't even have to get out of the Houston to say I love exploring, right? Yeah. But I do. I love warm climates and water, you know? And I'm not one of those people that just have to go, like, I hate going on vacation and like there's this itinerary for everything, right? Exactly. I want to go on vacation, drink my cocktail and sit on the beach, listen to something, whatever the case may be, you know, and just relax. I don't feel like I relax enough. Okay, do you turn off your phone when you travel? I'm almost there. Almost there, okay. But I do have time. Okay. Right? So if I'm traveling, I'll check in the morning and then I'm done, right? Okay. Until the next morning. Right?
Well, what's that?
But I do have a great team though. That's one thing about having a team. Like I do have a great team of people that I can trust to handle the business when I step away. They might have a question sometimes, you know, something like that, but I do have a good team that I can't step away for months now, but I can step away for a week or so and know that my clients will be taken care of, the real estate brokers will run, you know, but I want to get to the point where I can be gone for months and it still runs flawlessly. Exactly. A big shout out to all the team players. I want you to understand, when you work for a business or when you're in a team, everything that you bring to the table will benefit you at some point. Amen. So hold it down for the people that are trying to build an empire. And, you know, I'm sure me at least, and I'm sure you do as well, everything that I do is bigger than me. Yeah. I want to be able to create very successful people. I have a vision of pulling up to this headquarters with nothing but foreigns in the parking lot and nothing but happy, successful people working for me. And that's so fulfilling, right? And I think that's one thing that keeps me going is like knowing that we are changing lives. Like, you know, when you talk to your team members, you talk to your staff, like just understanding where their stories, you know, a lot of them, like you don't even realize how much just you teaching them, you know, how to be successful changes their lives. Like we had one guy, when he started with us, he really wasn't making a whole lot of money, but he needed to take care of his family. You know, now he's just like taking care of his family. His mom bought 2 cars, bought his first investment property, bought his first home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that is fulfilling to me, right? To see him winning like that, that's fulfilling, and that's what keeps me going on those days when I'm like, I'm tired. Yeah. Like I don't want to get out of the bed. You know, I got people counting on me. And if my door's shut, people lose their jobs. People may not be able to feed their family, you know? It's big. Get you a setting, because I can definitely relate to that. Look at this guy. What's going on?
Doing good, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Smart
this man putting me to work.
Yeah. We in here working.
This y'all office?
This is our office outside, huh? This is our office outside of our office. We get to meet here, and this is literally where a lot of our business ideas come to play.
It's good energy.
It is. Listen, I'm a bodybuilder, right? I'm not chasing a professional card, but I am passionate about this. That's why I push nothing but fitness content, motivational content, because this makes a difference.
Right.
And it does feel good when you do something, whether it's at your job and they get something out of it, or it's this podcast. Somebody may come up to you, hey, Nicole, I've listened to the podcast. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that, right? One thing that we're going to talk is we've been talking about nothing but wins, and I want to take it to the losses for a second. You got one more, and then I'm going to do my set, but I want you to talk. I want you to talk about some of those losses, which I call lessons, right? We talked about selling beautiful houses and growing this successful business. But let's talk about some of the losses that you took on the way there that you can give to someone, and that way they don't have to make the same mistakes.
I think one of the biggest losses is when you come to work one day and you look at the work account is almost in the negative, right? And you got to go get a loan or take money out your personal funds to make sure your employees get paid, right? So that has happened. Just being real, that has happened to us, you know.
Oh, it's happened.
And again, it was because we didn't know how to run a business. You know, we were good realtors, but we didn't know how to run a business, right? So that was very eye-opening, you know, learning how to run the business. And it took for us changing the way we did business and changing the way that we managed our team, you know, and change. People don't always like change, right? But, you know, really just being transparent with them and like, hey, the way we've been doing things, there's not going to be a Braden Real Estate Group much longer, right? You know, so just, hey, asking, you know, just simply asking for their trust in us to say, hey, these changes, they might have an impact on you, but we're doing them for the greater good of everybody, you know? But I mean, aside from that too, working like a dog and almost, I would say like, you know, neglecting my family. You know, that's a huge loss to me. You know, when my daughter would like cry when I leave and not just shed a tear, like grab my leg and didn't want me to, you know, walk out the door, or like not seeing my husband or like spending intimate time with my husband for months at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people like you and me, we kind of like the rush, right? You know, it's thrilling for us, right? So it's like, what can I do next? What can I do next? But I had to have that same, what can I do next? How can I achieve this next in my household?
As well.
You know what I'm saying? My household too, because.
So we're gonna talk about sacrifice next. All right, y'all. We're done working out for right now. We'll put the whole video at the end. We're gonna go wipe this off, get a sip of water. We're gonna sit down for 5-10 more minutes, and then we'll bring this bad boy to the finish line. We're back. I still haven't caught my breath yet, but we're back. So right before this, we were talking about the investments and the sacrifices that you made the first few years in business, right? What did that look like? What did you have to sacrifice, and what did you get out of those sacrifices? Did it pay off?
So it absolutely did pay off, right? But I think the biggest sacrifice again was sacrificing my relationship with my family for work. You know what I'm saying? So like I was literally, for 2 years straight, I literally worked 6 to 7 days a week. You know, really no days off. I think my baby was like 3 at the time. So she really didn't understand, like it wasn't too like mommy's gone, you know, and mommy's working. But like now I honestly think I made her kind of hate the word work a little bit. And I honestly don't think that she'll be interested in real estate. Hopefully one day, but I think I'm trying to turn over the notion that mommy going to work is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest sacrifice, not only my baby, but my husband. You know, because he deserves my time and my attention as well. You know, I mean, now did it pay off? Absolutely, right? You know, our lives have changed. You know, I mean, just be transparent. Like the income that we had then is not the income that we have now. We're able to afford more things. We're able to give our daughter, you know, expose her to things that we never were exposed to. It's like I didn't even leave the country till I was old enough to buy my own plane ticket. No, seriously, you know, like my daughter's just 2. She has a passport. You know, she actually loves to travel. To her most favorite thing in the world to do is get on a plane and stay at a hotel. Right?
Kids love hotels. I can take them to the Woodlands and just be like,
the hotel is big. This little room, like, they love, she loves hotels. I still haven't figured it out, right? But she loves hotels, and she correlates hotels with happiness, you know? So, you know, just being able to give them or give her that life, you know, that I, like I said, didn't have till I was an adult, you know, that's the fulfilling part about it, you know? But I had to learn how to balance the two, right? What are my non-negotiables? And one of them is missing my baby stuff is a non-negotiable. You know, her parties at school, if she has something going on, something like that, it is a non-negotiable, right? Another non-negotiable is trying to find, we're still working on it, right? My husband and I both work crazy schedules, but just trying to find that balance for a long time, even if it's just like, hey, let's go to lunch in the middle of the day because you got to work tonight, just finding that balance. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a work in progress. I think I got it down with my baby pretty good. I think me and my husband could still use some work at it, right? But we're both trying now, and I don't think he looks at my job as a bad thing anymore, that it's taking you away from the household. I think he sees the effort.
And I love it in what you said. You're still a work in process. This whole business is humans to us, period. Biggest room in the world is the one for improvements, right? I have this saying, always raise the standard arts. And I live by that every day. I'm like, all right, how can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? How can I be a better businessman? How can I lead better? How can I help my community? Whatever it is, a friend, right? So I'm all about improving. And all these sacrifices truly pay off. It's gonna be a bunch of people watch this, and I'm thinking majority of it's gonna be women realtors, right?
Probably so. Yeah.
So let's give them some gems to them to take it, right? Let's talk about 3 to 5 things that you're like, you know what? I wish someone shared this with me at the beginning of my journey, and I'm gonna put it here for y'all to take it. Write it down, run with it.
Write it down. So first thing I keep saying is find a mentor or a coach from day one. Even if you can't afford one, bring enough value to them where they'll coach you for free. Right. Number 2 would be give yourself some grace, right? And stop comparing yourself to everybody else. I feel like people compare themselves to me, not realizing and thinking I was just an overnight Instagram success, not realizing I had been doing real estate for 7 years before I even showed up as a realtor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So give yourself grace and stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Operate, even if you are a self-employed, operate like you are a business.
Yes.
Operate and run yourself like a business. Write down everything, document everything. Systems, processes, SOPs are so important. If you can't document it yourself because you don't have time, voice record it and send it to a virtual assistant.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously. Yeah. But that's going to be the core of your business. That's how you're able to scale. Everything that's in your head does you no justice, right? Put it on paper. That way you can give it to somebody else and say, this is how we will operate. Yeah.
Once you put it on paper, it becomes real.
Yeah.
I was told that once you put it on paper, it becomes a real thing.
And my last thing.
Give it to them.
Find your accountability partner, and also network and mastermind with people that are on your level. That are doing the same thing that you're doing. I'm not saying downgrade or degrade anybody, but we spend so much time pouring into others. Sometimes we don't get our tank filled.
Yeah. And that's key. Like me personally, I'm so busy that I don't have a lot of relationships outside of work and business.
Right.
I see, hey, oh my God, but I haven't seen you in forever, right? So surrounding yourself with successful people is key. Like I'm always seeking outside of the relationship I have ways for me to add value to people and then for them to add value to me. There's always these sayings that if you're surrounded by 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th one. If you're surrounded by 5 bodybuilders, you'll be the 6th one. If and that's key. So surrounding yourself by true success, and that's what this episode is about. It's truly.
I love this because this even allowed me the time to talk to another CEO, business owner, and like you taught me some things.
I love it. I love it. That's my goal. That is my goal. I am creating a place, and we're just getting started. This is the beginning of something amazing. I truly believe that the words that are said to this camera can change lives.
Absolutely.
We just need enough people to hear it and get this movement going on. So I'm truly excited for that. This show isn't just for entrepreneurs. You don't have to be a realtor to take something out of this. You don't have to be a CEO to take something out of these. These are life lessons. We're talking about accountability. We're talking about improvement. We're talking about systems. We're talking about we're talking about all these great things. And before I land this jet, I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was more than I thought it was going to be.
I love it. I love it. I am
this.
happy that I met expectations and hoping that we do something really big with this. I know you have a very bright future ahead of you. I truly believe that, even though you've been in the game for 4 or 5 years.
Thank you.
I don't want to discredit the first 7. But we're going to focus on the last.
It's not the same.
The last 4. I truly believe that you're in the early stages of an amazing career.
Thank you.
That what you are doing and the empire that you're building is going to change lives and generations to go. Before we ship these people off, is there any parted wisdom that you're like, hey y'all, I know I gave y'all 5 things, but this right here could change your life.
Again, I said it earlier in the podcast, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Fear holds so many people back from being great. Like, don't let your fear hold you back from being great. Now, you may have to take a step back and say, get yourself together, but still walk out the door. Still go on the other side, because it will take you from good to great.
Yes. Climb those mountains, fight those fears, dream big, and then let's go get them. Thank you. Let me get a hug.
That was great.
That was awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. That is a wrap, Chris.